Before I present my second piece of digital portfolio conceptualizing the history of Pearl Beach and the first place of contact between the early Europeans and the First Nations people, I would like to acknowledge the Darkingjung people as traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I pay my respects to the elders past, present and future and recognize the continuing connection and contribution to this land and waters. I extend this respect to any Aboriginal people who are here today. This video tells the story of early contact between early Europeans and the local Aboriginal people, the Darkingjung. It unfolds the journey of history and cultural heritage in regards to how it has affected the localites over 200 years of colonization in Australia. Welcome to this beautiful place, the Pearl Beach, and straight across the Darabin, which is the traditional name of the Hawkesbury River, and there is the Lion Island, which lays at the mouth of the river. And on the other side of the river is the Gadigal people's land, the Eora nation of the Sydney mob, and across this way is the Darkingjung people's land, the Darkingjung country. Back in 1788, when Europeans first arrived in Australia, the Gadigal people's land, they sailed here right at this beach 5 weeks after they landed the Gadigal country. Captain Arthur Phillips and his men came here in rowboats. They met many of our people, or the Darkingjung people. This was one of the first physical contacts of the early Europeans and the Aboriginal people. They even commented, Aboriginal people are friendly. The Darkingjung interpreted them as wanderer or spirits or ghost because of their fair skin. However, Europeans coming from an advanced society didn't understand about the Aboriginal people's way of life. Aboriginals lived in a dreamtime moment. They believed in their great father Bayami, the creator, or mother Yeye, who had given them everything since the beginning of the time. Thus, there was an understanding gap created between the two groups of people. Philip asked, "Where do you people come from?" And every time he asked the question, the Aboriginal of the place would point towards the sky. He had no idea what this meant. Later, it was explained to him by the Aboriginal people about the Aboriginal religious belief. They believed that they came from the morning star. Life itself came from the Mirror Booker. Mirror means stars and Booker means river. It means the river of life. Hence, Pearl Beach might be significant to the early Europeans, but it is a place of value for the Aboriginal for tens of thousands of years. So from here, Philip rowed out into the Broken Bay. The Broken Bay is the gateway to the central coast. Philip sailed between the two spread headlands, the Gadigal people's headland to the south and the Bodhi National Park that is associated with the Darkingjung people. Philip came through the headlands here at the Broken Bay. They sailed up here till the Brisbane water, today what the Darkingjung called Narara in their language. Then they went back to the Gadigal people's land. While Philip explored this area, the thought was that the British will look and settle over here in this region here at the Broken Bay, or Gosford, what it is called today. But the Broken Bay waters were too shallow and a lot of sand bars were there across the line. So there was no way they could get big ships up through the ocean. So they went back where they came from, and that was the starting of colonization in the Warrings. That is the traditional name of the Sydney harbour, the Gadigal people's land. Pearl Beach is a place of historical importance to both the Aboriginals and Europeans as it was the first site of contact. It is essential to educate and ensure the history related to the site are not forgotten by the students and the next generation Australians and the wider community. There is so much history that is left untold. Many stories have passed down through Aboriginal culture and heritage. However, stories about the struggle, survival of people, and the 200 years of colonization have been missing or out of sight.